On the top there you can see the fortress, which I'm just taking a picture of. I found a walking tour online through bigboytravel.com for Salzburg. So this is what I'm basically going to be doing, is doing the walking tour and taking you around some of the attractions on that tour. So you'll have to excuse me if I don't pronounce things correctly, do it quite often. So the first stop we stopped at was a place called Sachet Torte, famous for the Sachet Torte cake, the chocolate one. Right next to the Sachet Cafe was Lovelock Footbridge. And it's decorated with lots of little padlocks. If you can see all the decorations, it's actually all padlocks, just like a lot of European cities. People write a message, put the lock on and throw away the key, and it's supposed to bring luck. And just a few minutes away, Mozart's residence, Von Haus. He lived here from ages 17 to 25, and it's now a museum. And next we arrive at the Mirabel Palace Gardens. It's free entry. Also, a lot of the Sound of Music scenes were filmed here. There's quite often weddings taking place here because of its beautiful backdrop. We're now going to head up those steep steps there, up into the Capuchin Monastery. I would say this takes about 5 to 10 minute walk, all uphill. I think it took me 10 minutes, but I'm not that fit. There's plenty of stop off points and views along the way though, to help. And here we are at the Capuchin Monastery. And then we come to the fantastic view over Salzburg Old Town. This is Stone Alley. Used to have the river, actually used to flow down here originally, and then it was redirected in 1862 to 66. In medieval times, as the river used to flow down here, there was a lot of craftsmen that had buildings here, like potters, dyers, tanners, anything that kind of needed the water and the river to be flowing right past them. And here we come to the Mozart footbridge. Just over the Mozart footbridge is a little place called the Guest House Vettlers, recommended by our B&B host. Traditional Austrian food, the atmosphere was amazing. It was really nice food, highly recommended. So then we went on to Mozart Square, or Mozartplatz as it's called, and a giant statue of Mozart dominates the centre of the square. Right next to the Mozart Square is the new residence and panorama, built in 1829 I believe. There's a huge glockenspiel bell tower sitting on top of the new residence, and it chimes at 7 AM, 11 AM and 6 PM. It sounds amazing. And here we're going to go down a little famous back lane called Goldgas. Famous street. In medieval times there was lots of goldsmiths here. It's very picturesque, worth a visit. This is the Salzburg Cathedral, and where Mozart was baptised. And then right next to that is Chapter Square, Kapitälplatz. There's lots of music and art events, and if you come here you'll definitely see something going off. So we saw this woman here playing the Glock and a man here playing the violin. There's just so much going off. There's a few little stalls around, and that was just a weekday. And on top there you see the fortress. We did plan on going up there. There's a little funicular, as it's called, little transport that takes you up there and returns you back. But I would recommend doing it if you've got more time. We'll do it if we go back. So we went on to the next destination, which is St. Peter's Cemetery. The cemetery has been in use since 700 AD, and its cliff-sized catacombs go even further back to 215 AD. So I read that apparently this cemetery, unlike most cemeteries, you don't buy plots here, you rent them. And the relatives of the dead must pay rent for each plot every 10 years and must also be the caretakers. If you don't pay the rent, the church tosses your body out. This is St. Peter's Church. This is the oldest church in Salzburg. And this is University Square. This often has open air market. And then we just go round the corner and we have Mozart's birthplace. And the other side of Mozart's birthplace have Grain Lane, which is one of the best streets to visit in Salzburg. It's the street to visit. It's very, very busy, but so worth it. And if you look, all of the signs for the shops are very ornamental. The reason for this, it goes back to the medieval roots where a lot of people couldn't actually read. So instead they had the signs of the businesses on them, and it would be an icon for their trade or craft, so people knew what sort of shop they were. This is called Horse Bath. This is like an old-fashioned car wash but for horses. So what they do is they go down the ramp just there, through the water, to wash them, and then out the other side. currently just gone 4 and we've been all around Salzburg, feet are killing. It's been really warm today. Now we're just sitting on a terrace drinking hot chocolate. The actual strudel has just arrived. Pete didn't want to share. Sat to have one to myself. The size of it. 6 o'clock and we've done 21,500 miles. Steps. 21,500 steps, which is, have a look, 8.82 miles. After having a sit down and that lovely dessert, we decided to end the tour there, but there's plenty of other things to see, so I'm just going to leave you with just some of the views we saw as we slowly made our way back to the B&B. So yeah, check Big Boy Travel out, bigboytravel.com. It's really good. I put a link in the description below. And I've also wrote a little blog which tells you a lot of information, a lot of links to all these things that I've mentioned, and yeah, I'll put that in the description below as well to my blog.